Welcome back, everybody. It's Bjorn, aka Bjorn, to sell your trusted guide to real estate here in Minnesota. And buying a home is a big deal, and a thorough home inspection can help you avoid unwelcome surprises down the road. The oh, by the ways that I hate so much. Asking the right questions is key to ensuring you get the most out of your home inspection. So today I'm sharing the top questions to ask your home inspector with a special focus on what's important here in Minnesota. If you're new here, please help me out and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of these great real estate tips and advice. So let's get started. Now here's the first question you need to ask your inspector if you're going out on your own and trying to find somebody, and it's, do you belong to a professional association? Reputable inspectors choose to join organizations like the American Society of Home Inspectors or the International Association of Certified Home Inspectors. Membership to these groups often means that they adhere to strict standards and a code of ethics, giving you added confidence in their professionalism. Listen to me. Anybody that I recommend to you is going to be adhering to these guidelines, but it's still a good question to ask just to make sure that they know that you know. The next question you're going to want to ask is about the report itself. You're going to want to ask if they have some type of format that they follow that covers all the major aspects of the property. A lot of times if they belong to one of those professional organizations that we mentioned before, they're going to have a set of kind of guidelines and standards that they're going to cover. A good inspection report is essential for identifying issues unique to Minnesota, like ice dams or proper insulation to handle our extreme winters. Now here's one of the most important questions you can ask. Now here's another very important question to ask, and it's how experienced are you? You're going to want to find out how long they've been inspecting homes and how many inspections they've completed. Experience with Minnesota-specific housing styles and common issues like cracked foundations from freeze-thaw cycle or aging septic systems in rural areas can be especially valuable. Don't hesitate to ask for customer referrals to get insight from past clients. You're also going to want to ask about, well, how they keep up their expertise. What kind of training do they do? Building codes and housing and technologies change over time. An inspector committed to continuing education is more likely to be aware of the latest developments, which is especially important if you're considering an older home or one with unique features like a wood-burning fireplace or a log cabin, that type of thing. In Minnesota, older homes often have quirks like outdated insulation or older roofing materials that may require extra attention. So make sure that your inspector is educated and has the latest knowledge. Ask them if they are focused specifically on residential inspections. Ensure that they have experience with residential properties similar to yours. Ask if they can provide sample reports from comparable homes. Remember, while a qualified inspector evaluates the entire home, they might recommend specialists for certain areas, like a structural engineer for foundation concerns or a chimney expert if you're purchasing a home with a traditional wood-burning fireplace. Now here's another important question to ask. How do you handle it if a home needs repairs? A good inspector should provide a clear, detailed report outlining any issues they find without making recommendations for specific contractors. Now, there are some caveats to this, however, i.e., if a place has an old furnace or maybe a stucco exterior, something that only specific, very niche contractors work in, they may know somebody that they can help you out by recommending, but they shouldn't be getting any kickback, obviously. If you do find that you need significant repairs, your real estate agent can help you negotiate with the seller or connect you with trusted professionals to get estimates. Now, this next question is kind of a logistics thing, but you're going to want to ask how long that inspection takes. You're going to want to let the home seller know so they know how long they need to be out of the house for sure. But you're going to want to know for your own thing, because a thorough home inspection of a single family home typically takes 2 to 3 hours depending upon size. If someone promises to complete it in significantly less time, that could be a red flag indicating a less thorough job. And by the way, winter inspections, well, they might take a little bit longer if the inspector has to account for snow-covered roofs or frozen ground conditions that could obscure certain issues. You're also going to want to ask them how long it's going to take them to get the report to you. Many inspectors that I work with have that report ready almost right away. Some might need until the next morning if it's a later in the day inspection. Generally speaking, it should be less than 24 hours, and it should be some type of computer-generated report that can be shared easily with your agent. If that's not the case, I would suggest you maybe shop around for another inspector. You're going to want to ask about cost. In Minnesota, in my experience, inspections range from $300 to $600 depending on the home size, age, and location. Then there are additional services that can get tacked on, like radon testing, mold inspections, or well and septic evaluations for rural properties, and that can increase the cost. Obviously, be cautious of prices that seem unusually low. This is one area where quality matters more than a bargain. Trust me. Finally, you're going to want to ask that inspector, will I be able to come to the inspection? And the answer should be yes. No, actually, it should be an emphatic yes, please come. Being present during the inspection allows you to learn about the home firsthand and ask questions on the spot. Just be sure to keep the number of attendees to a minimum to avoid distracting the inspector. Oftentimes, what inspectors will tell you is, I'm going to go in for 2 to 3 hours beforehand, do my inspection, then you show up at this time, and we're going to walk through the property. I'm going to show you everything. That's the best format that allows them to do their job and then gives you the information you need. Now, I can't emphasize this enough. A home inspection is a vital step in the home buying process, and asking these questions will help ensure that you choose a qualified professional who can provide the thorough evaluation you need. If you're ready to take the next step towards home buying, visit bjorntosell.com to connect with me directly, or you can find me on all social medias at bjorntosell, or you can use the comments below. While we're talking about things that are below, don't forget that in the description is that free Bjorn to Sell home buyer and or home seller's guide that's packed with tips to help you navigate either side of the transactional process. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to please help me out by liking and commenting and subscribing, all that. And I'll see you next week. I've got a great video planned. So until then, be kind to one another.